God could not be everywhere. Therefore, He made mothers, who are often addressed as Ma, Amma, Mom. They are the epitome of pure love and selflessness and forms an integral part of her life and can't think of life without her. The thought of her not being around brings shudder down our spine. So hi students, welcome to my educational channel, Rendezvous with Reena. Children, today we will be discussing in detail the first poem of Flamingo, that is My Mother at 66 by Kamala Das. Kamala Das is an Indian English poet and a leading Malayalam author. Her works are published under the pen name Madhavakutty. She wrote on feminist issues, nostalgia for serene and rural past. She went on to receive the Sahitya Academy Award in 1985 and was nominated and shortlisted for the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1984. She is a sensitive writer who captures the complex subtleties of human relationship in lyrical idiom, My Mother at 66. The poem is an introspective narrative expressing deep emotion in a compact and a complex form. It explores the poet's anxieties relating to her mother's old age and possible death. It talks about the fear of losing a dear one, especially a parent, and the eternal cycle of life, death, youth, and old age. So now let's discuss the poem in detail. Driving from my parents' home in Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, dozed, open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked at the young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. So the poet here describes Kamala Das' thoughts and emotions while traveling to the airport and her parents' house in Kochi. The poet is accompanied by her 66-year-old mother. On the way to the airport, she looks at her mother who's dozing beside her in the car, and suddenly fear grips her because mother's face is colorless, just like the face of the corpse. She realizes that her mother is now quite old, and the thought of losing her mother pains her. The poet tries to avoid these painful thoughts and look out of the window to distract herself in contrast of the pale and the corpse-like appearances of her mother who is sleeping inside the car. She observes the healthy young trees on the roadside, which seem to be running backward as the car moves ahead. The trees here, children, are symbolic of the youth in contrast to the old age and pale mother. As the car moves ahead, the trees seem to be moving back, representing time is moving fast and the mother moving towards death. She also sees merry children running out of their homes to play. The poet focuses on them in an effort to avoid thinking about her frail mother. So here we see the comparison is drawn between the children who are young and energetic and the poet's mother who is pale and unenergetic. But after the airport's security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, worn, pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear, and all I said was, "See you soon, Amma," and all I did was smile, smile, and smile. So children, after they reached the airport, the poet completes her security check formalities and turns around and looks at the mother again. And the poet's mother again looks frail, pale, and quite old, and thus reminds the poet of the moon as it appears in the late winter. The moon looks dull in winter due to the fog and mist. The mother too looks dull and pale without shine as she has reached the winter of her life. The poet feels the old familiar ache, the childhood fear. Now what is this? Kamala Das is reminded of her childhood fear, the anxiety of losing or being separated from her mother. She might lose her mother to death, and this time separation would be forever. Yet she puts up a brave front and says, "See you soon, Amma," and she smiles and smiles to reassure herself and her mother that she would come back soon. She doesn't want to show her emotions, and she reassures herself that the mother would be fine till she returns. I hope the explanation was clear to everybody. Thank you. Till we meet again with the next video.